LSU football coach Ed Orgeron met with the media after spring practice on Tuesday and announced that quarterback Peter Parrish had been suspended from the team indefinitely due to a team violations. Here is some sound from yesterday's press conference, courtesy of Tiger Rag and Ron Higgins, of Orgeron making the announcement.
Peter Parrish has been suspended from the team indefinitely for violation of the team rules. I don't know when he's going to be back.
Was Peter a part of offseason?
No, Peter hasn't been with us for a while.
So, come to find out, Peter Parrish has been out of the picture for longer than we were fully aware of, which means that it now leads you with Miles Brennan and then a couple of true freshmen in TJ Finley and Max Johnson. Jordy, I would go out on a limb and say no matter how happy they are with those freshmen, with those 3 transfer spots, a backup quarterback's probably a point of interest for them.
Pretty sturdy limb you're sitting on there, buddy.
Yep. Feels good.
They're shopping the market for sure. I think that those 2 freshmen have been they've been pretty good early on.
Word on the street is they like both of them. I heard a lot of good things about Mac Johnson.
You don't want to be a play play away in the SEC with a true freshman taking meaningful snaps for you.
No, that's like a potential season killer.
It's Jarrett Lee. I mean, what happened to Jarrett Lee in 2008?
Well, also, I don't know.
What?
Oh, well, yes, you are correct. No, you know what? I guess the offense was pretty good that year. I was going to say I don't know if the scheme always put him in the best spot either, but that was a pretty wide open scheme. So you're right.
Here's O talking about Joseph Evans. He has been very high on Evans, who they transferred over or made the move from defensive line to offensive line, specifically at a very important position, center, that needs to be replaced.
Oh, yeah, pass rush, pass protection. Setting his feet. He was overextended like a typical defensive guy would. Today he set his feet, played with a base. He's learned how to play offensive line. Offensive line, you back up. Defensive line, you attack. So he just can't get overextended every time and playing with a base. Joe's very smart. He will have no problem learning the offense. I think by the end of spring, we're going to have us one good center.
Wow, I mean, those are some strong words of support from Coach O there.
On the record, off the record, ask Orgeron about Joseph Evans. He thinks they found a center.
Well, that's massive then, because that was my single biggest question mark entering spring was who would replace Lloyd Cushenberry. Like, I know replacing Burrow's hard, but you have a really good guy, and you know exactly who you're replacing him with. Center, on the other hand, is way more up in the air. It sounds like Evans making some moves.
One more from Orgeron talking about some new faces on the practice field. This from the coaching staff. How's Scott Linehan and Bo Pelini coaching up their groups?
I mean, the players, Scott Linehan is an old pro. He's very knowledgeable. The guys like him because of the guys he's coached. So he's brought in some film of Megatron and that stuff. And those guys are going to watch that. And obviously, Bo's demeanor, his tempo, he's a lot like I am. He's going to get after him, but he's going to love him. And I think more or less I'll sit in the defensive meeting. I'll see him capturing his group more and more.
You can hear Pelini no matter where you are. It was indoor yesterday. I mean,
sounds like the same Coach Pelini that I know and love.
Orgeron said they're a lot alike on the practice field. Very similar. Very similar. You can hear him no matter where he is. LSU basketball guard Skylar Mays and forward Trendon Watford both were named to the All-SEC team on Tuesday. Mays, a senior from Baton Rouge, was named first team All-Southeastern Conference, also received SEC's Scholar Athlete of the Year honor, and Watford, a freshman from Birmingham, was named to the All-SEC freshman team. Here's Will Wade speaking on his show Monday night about what this SEC tournament could do for this LSU basketball team here in March.
If we can get to that semifinal game, you can make a big jump because any of those teams, a top 50, a quad one neutral is top 50. And so, our first game will almost assuredly be, actually Arkansas has got a better net than South Carolina. Arkansas, I believe, is 45. South Carolina's in the 60s. So, but either one of those are a quad two. We're 11-9 against quads 1 and 2. But either one of those are a quad two game in that first game. If you get that second game and that other game, you're getting basically quad one games. And so, for you to be able to add to those, you can jump your net into the, mid to low 20s.
I think what he said was just win.
A lot of quads.
I feel.
A lot of quads.
Just win. LSU baseball, Tigers are back on the field tonight versus South Alabama at 6:30. They'll head to Oxford for a weekend SEC series as college baseball gets back going here in the midweek. LSU on the back in the box tonight, 6:30 first pitch, 6 o'clock pregame.
Yeah, they got Kaminer and the lefty on the mound again tonight. A little bit of a pitching switch for this weekend, though, as Henry and Marceau, they're going to flip-flop. Marceau's going to throw Friday. Henry will throw Saturday. Is it a matchup thing, or was it really just to give Henry an extra day of rest? Well, I crunched the numbers, and we'll dive into it later in the show.
Pelicans continue their 4-game road trip tonight as they visit Sacramento. The two teams share identical records and are 3.5 games back from Memphis. For the final playoff spot in the West, tip-off late one, as T said, 9:30.
Get hype. Flock up. Let's see what this young team does. They got to step up. Right now, Jordy, in the NBA, there are 4 players averaging 27 and 7 in the month of March. Pelly's got 2 of them.
Wow.
Both Drew and Lonzo averaging 27 and 7 right now. Let's see if they can keep it going in Sacramento tonight.
All right, a couple of high school matchups here in the capital city last night that featured New Orleans and Baton Rouge teams. De La Salle made the trip over from New Orleans to University High, was edged by a point, 56-55. The Cubs get the win there. And then over at the Dunham School last night, Dunham topped Randy Livingston and the Newman Greenies. Randy Livingston's got the best freshman in the state, and it's not even close. Maybe one of the best freshmen in the country when you're talking about Chris Lockett out of Newman, who had 21. But Pixley and Dunham get the win last night and advance to the state finals. So nice matchup last night in the capital city between New Orleans and Baton Rouge high school basketball teams. Both of the capital city teams advancing. Those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench? We're daily. We're brought to you by Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Online, dgbauto.com. Remember, 415 Division Street is where they're located. If you've been in an accident, you need collision repair, get over to Donaldsonville Glass and Body. In fact, they have free 24-hour towing that they can get to you at any point. If you need it moved, the vehicle moved from the accident site, from your house, your office, to 415 Division Street, they'll do that for you for free. Bring it to the shop, make the repair, then bring it right back to you. Customer service is what they practice and preach every day. Mention Off the Bench, and they'll take $100 off the top of that insurance deductible here on OTB. Good morning, Palmer.
Check out OTB on TV every Wednesday at 6 and 6:30 on WBRZ with Michael Cobble. Tune in each week as they break down the hottest sports stories of the day, and Jordy takes off the blue pullover and puts on a sports go. That's OTB on TV every Wednesday at 6 and 6:30.
Stephen Miller inside the huddle. So Newman has the 2 best freshmen in the country. They do. And Arch Manning was the 6th man last night for Newman coming off the bench. So both in the same class, but Chris Lockett, watch him play basketball. I was sitting next to John Brady, Will Wade last night, both of them talking about how this is an advanced freshman. This guy's going to be a pro, man. LSU's all over him. He had 21 last night in the loss for Newman. All right, those are your headlines. What's trending here on Off the Bench?